Hello, welcome to the Tenerife Pod. We're back with another episode. I say we, just me and thee, Stevie B.
I know, I don't know what to do. So there is no third chair today. There's no super sub.
We're winging it.
We are. It is really funny because I was thinking, there's no Rick. But then I wondered, where is Rick? Because we've done a hashtag Where's Jay. We'll do a hashtag Where's Rick because I'm slightly concerned that he made that comment about the mafia on the last pod and the olive oil, and now he's not here. Maybe he's in witness protection.
Oh, God. Right, let's put it out there. Has anyone
hashtag
seen Rick?
Yeah, where's Rick? We need to know where Rick is.
Are
oh
you
my
okay?
God, yes. Let
Well,
us know.
I'm Jenny D and I'm here with Stevie B and we're bringing you the Tenerife Pod and we are going to be talking all things Tenerife.
Yes, we are. Do you know what? I have to tell you about my dream.
What?
Well,
oh, God, do I want to know?
It's very innocent. But you know the piece of music that starts our pod every time? That piece of... that one. I had this dream, knowing that it was just me and you today. I had this dream. Should we call it a dream? It was borderline nightmare. But I had this dream. That piece of music...
I mean, a lot of people's nightmares, I think, actually.
No. So the music came in and the pod started and the camera's on me like it is now. And crickets, I've got nothing.
Mind blank.
Completely nothing to say.
Brain fart.
And it's just me sort of staring, blinking blankly at the camera. And I've got nothing. And then I just woke up and I was like,
oh, God.
sweat and everything. And then trying to get back to sleep. And then I woke up with the start again. So yeah, that piece of music is now haunting my dreams. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Every time you listen to the pod, think of Steve having a pure panic attack.
Absolute nightmare.
I've had like a reoccurring dream that I'm going to do a silent adventure.
Yeah.
And I forget the phone with all the music on it. So I have my own phone and then I'm trying to like YouTube stuff as we go around and I'm like panicking and I'm trying, and then like it will play the wrong song. So I'm trying to get people to dance to like, I don't know, Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, and like it's really slow and I'm
that's really hard.
Rave.
It's really hard choreography to My Heart Will Go On.
I reckon I could do it though, thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a good go. But yeah, I've had dreams like that. And when I used to work in a restaurant, I'd have dreams of like doing the same actions over again, like taking out the food and giving the bill, but everything would be taking me forever, and I'd never quite finish and I'd be getting really stressed out.
Oh God.
What does it mean, these dreams, when we dream about work?
I don't know, but there are certain times when you have these dreams, and I'm a big one for that has to mean something, so I'll Google it. What does it mean? And you get these websites that are supposed to do dream analysis, and it's so vague. that it could be anything, and they're just saying it's not bad, it's good, it could mean this, but then it could mean this, but then it could mean that, and if you dream of this, it could mean that. So it's too vague for me. It doesn't,
There's one expert opinion that could contradict another expert
exactly.
opinion,
And I mean, you get the usual ones are things like naked in public. That dream does mean something. That means that you're feeling conscious about yourself. People are staring at you and things like that. So that's like a self-conscious thing. Teeth falling out, that's a stress thing.
Is it money related? I've heard that.
I believe it is.
Like you're losing money.
Yes,
and it's
something important to you, like your finances. So those kinds of dreams, and the flying dream as well. Apparently, the flying dream, if you have them, they're very few and far between. You don't have them very often. I've had a couple in the last couple of years. I've had flying dreams, brilliant, because it was proper Spider-Man, Superman stuff. So like I would jump and I would suddenly be off, and I would see a random city. I can't put my finger on what it wasn't London, but it was and I was flying above it, and it was just amazing. The feeling that gave me was immense. So again, I Googled it and I was like, what does this mean? And it means that at that point in your life, you're feeling free enough and lifted enough, and that things are content in your life, that you feel like you're flying and floating and seeing things from above.
What does it say? That I don't think I've ever had one of those dreams.
Oh, just amazing. And the falling dream.
All the time.
Yeah. Again, that's supposed to mean something as well in terms of where you're feeling and where you are in your life. But I don't know. But as it says, it could be good, it could be bad, it could mean nice things. It depends on what website you read. It really does. But there you go. Dreams or nightmares, I don't know. If you have one, let us know what your dream is. Especially if you have a reoccurring one, we want to know what your reoccurring dream is. Is it good? Is it bad? Maybe
and if you're an expert, let Steve know what it means.
Or yes, and we could, if we wanted to, if you put it in the comments and put what your dream is, we'll have them them analysed. We'll put them through the dream analysis and we'll see what they are. Let us know if you have a recurring dream. We'll see what we could do.
Interesting. Right. Have you, apart from the dream, have you been having a good week since the last pod?
Yeah, it's been a busy week at the other place. Don't know if I've mentioned it. I work at the Winchester because we're doing a new.
How many minutes in a week?
6. We're doing a new summer menu, so it's been really nice because we've been trying new things and working on how to make things taste nicer and come out nicer and things. So we're doing a lot of eating. So the tasting that we've done was really nice. This morning was Eggs Benedict done properly. So I've eaten a proper breakfast. I wasn't eating steak for breakfast like I was the other days. But
what's one thing that you think people should look out for? What's a new summer apart from Eggs Benedict? What else? Like one more thing.
We have put 2 brand new delicious pasta dishes on there. So there is a creamy mushroom pasta and a new pasta arrabbiata, which is a tomato sauce base, but it's got chili in it, so it's got a bit of heat and a bit of kick and a bit of garlic, and it's really nice. So those are going to be on the summer menu. And a brand new, our burgers, I think, are amazing, but we've now added smoked cheese instead of normal cheese to our burger, just to give it that little smoky hit, and it's really tasty.
I did say 1, but there we go. Mr. Winchester gave us 3. Of course he did. I don't want to go into it too much.
I was going to say, what about your week?
My week has been a bit weird. So in the last pod and the pod before, which is why I don't really want to go into it too much. I don't want to give it really any more airtime than it needs. But after the whole Geary thing, the whole British mass tourism ruining Canarian culture, the lady that put that video on TikTok did another TikTok, and then people were like, let's find this girl. I got a load of comments on some videos that were just of me on the Silent Adventures TikTok saying the word Geary again. Some of them got really nasty though. There were some like private messages that were really awful. Like some of them have been reported.
Who are you people to do that? That's just abhorrent, that is, and so unnecessary. But listen, people are happy to hide behind their keyboards, aren't they?
Yeah, and the thing is, what I don't like, I think, like we said before, everyone's allowed their opinion.
Of course.
Like, you have your opinion, but getting really personal. Like, I don't know you. Like, I've not actually done anything wrong apart from living my life.
Going in for a private message is not the way to do that.
So, yeah, it's been a bit of a weird week, but I had a chat with some friends and we decided that it says more about them than it does about us or anyone else.
Yeah, and I do recall, I think I've said this before on the pod, don't feed the trolls.
Don't
give them anything. You get nothing from me. You have your opinion, I'll have mine, and I'll ignore yours if I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
so,
and just like, let's be kind. Like, if you're watching this now and you don't like something about me, that's okay. You don't have to tell me. Like, just keep it to yourself.
And actually, the whole be kind thing makes a lot of sense because, there are certain... I like to consider myself quite thick-skinned because you're entitled to your opinion. It's your opinion and you can do what you want with it. I'm not, because, again, especially if it's somebody I don't know, I really don't care.
Yeah.
But there are people out there who do care and take that to heart.
It bothers me and it takes me... It's like a process for me to go... That feels really rubbish.
It's not fair.
I'm going to let that, it gets to me for a while. And it takes me like having to go, right, no, think about it. Actually, that doesn't mean anything. You're not that kind of person.
And listen,
what they're saying isn't accurate.
No. And that kind of, I'm going to call it attack, is what hurts people's mental health and hurts people's, I don't want to go to the serious side of it, but people like Caroline Flack, for example, who was abused routinely online and given all sorts... Look what happened there. So it is about be kind. And if you don't like something, scroll on, switch it off, go to another channel, whatever it is. Just carry it. Do you. You do you, boo. And we'll do us. So let's carry on. Jen, what are we going to do?
I'm not giving it any more airtime. Go away. Let's get into some news of the week.
Okay. That doesn't haunt my dreams.
Not yet.
No. Not yet.
Do you feel like it could be in your life? Like, okay, time for dinner.
Potentially, I'd switch the car on. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to work.
every section of your day. Yeah. Right, I've got my notes. Jenny.
All right, okay. Here's Jenny with the news.
So one thing I wanted to mention, because it's quite a serious situation, like housing and stuff, and the cost of living crisis and the housing crisis that is in the Canary Islands. The government have officially launched a scheme to make empty properties available for long-term rent. So they're putting this new service out to tender, and it's aimed at bringing empty or underused properties back onto the long-term rental market for residents for affordable prices. Now, primarily targeting properties that landlords previously rented, that then they withdrew because of concerns over like the legal protection rental laws where people were allowed to kind of squat. What was it, like 5 years if they wanted to get them out? They didn't have to pay anything.
You'd have to go through the courts, and it would be a very long process. So
to kind of save themselves the hassle, they either started doing holiday lets or they've just been left empty. So there are apparently, well, I'm going to ask you, how many empty homes in the Canary Islands roughly? This is a very estimate.
I reckon it's got to be about 50 or 60,000.
200,000.
That's a lot of houses. There are currently
more than 200 empty homes in the Canary Islands. So it's called the Active Affordable Housing Register. There's a budget of 1.8 million euros. And what this scheme will do is provide a full service covering everything from like identifying the available properties, screening potential tenants, mediating between landlords and tenants, so kind of being like the agency for it, handling all the contracts and monitoring rentals over time. How do we feel about this?
I think, to be honest with you, what a lot of feedback that I've got, and I've got a little bit of experience of this because in the building that I live in, we had a notice through to say there's occupants in the building. So someone has got into the building and got into one of those empty properties, which we do have in our building. There's a couple below me that I've lived there since just after COVID, so 5-6 years. And there's still 2 properties beneath my balcony that I've never seen anybody in the garden. I've never seen anybody. They're empty. So people had got into one of the empty apartments. So we were warned about making sure our properties were secured and making sure that if you see anybody you don't know or challenging. They even got to the point where when you leave, you used to be able to just open the gate and walk out. Now you have to use the key. Because obviously these guys didn't have keys because they managed to get in and then break in, so they can't. So they're making life really difficult. We've had new CCTV installed, lots of stuff going on in the building. So I think if you are a landlord or a property owner where that's a danger to happening, something needs to change. And we've spoken about this before about it. And I believe that this is going to help, especially landlords, if they've got some sort of protection. Because occupants is the biggest thing. Squatters is the biggest thing for people who've got empty properties. And the reason why the long-term rental market is, one of the reasons why it's like it is because people are scared of that very situation where you get a tenant in, they're there for 6 months, they're paying okay, and then all of a sudden nothing. And you've got a property and you're like, I can't do anything with it. It's going to take me ages and through the court. So any protection for landlords, I think, is nothing but a positive. Really.
Well, I think this is going to be exactly what it is. And I think that 200,000, I know that's across the Canary Islands, but that's
still a heck of a lot.
It's a lot. Like, it's going to make a good dent in
it has to, because if and there's other stories about housing, about building social housing, but that takes time. That's not a quick fix in my eyes.
And like we've talked about, sometimes it's like they're going to do 40 here, there's like another 60 there. So it's progress. But so they've tried to do something like this before, and it didn't really work. So what basically happened was they kind of told landlords, you've got to rent your houses out for a lot lower. And there wasn't really any benefit to doing it. So people didn't. I think I read they got, in the whole of the Canary Islands, one person apply for the scheme.
Congratulations, that one person. Although if you can imagine, there's a budget of 1.8 million and that one landlord's going, I'll have it.
So this
this is positive. A positive step. It's not going to solve the problem, but it will certainly help. They've realised
they need to do a bit more. So for landlords, guaranteeing rental income, ensuring the properties are returned in good condition, in accordance to the agreement with the tenancies, and obviously that budget will go towards some of that, making sure
and again, that's the positive, because that's the major concerns of landlords and people who own properties is not getting them back, or if they do get them back, they don't get them back in a fit state. So that, to have that sort of cushion, that barrier between tenant and and the government stepping in, it's got to be taken seriously by the tenant. So if the government are coming in and saying, come on, but also if you're not paying the rent, the landlord's going, I'm not getting any money, and the government says, okay, look, we're going to cover this, and then the government will then do what they've got to do in the courts in terms of however that works. But that's good, because I think it gives confidence back to landlords to say, okay, it's time. Because listen, this is a long-term rentals, a long-term renter like myself. I worked out how much I spent per month for the last 6 years. It's a lot of money.
Painful, I bet.
It is. But I still don't have enough in my savings. It would take me a long time as a single person as well to get a deposit to get a mortgage. So this is, but I've resigned myself to the fact that I probably will rent for the rest of my days.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever own a property here.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. And it's nice that I've got an absolutely superb landlady who we get on well, but we don't talk because we don't need to. If things happening, we communicate with each other, and it's really. But it's nice because I love the place that I live. It's my home, and I treat it with respect because it is my home. And that's,
I guess, like as a renter, that you're lucky you've got that landlord, but. You never know what's around the corner.
No,
and as a renter, I feel like you're living on the edge a little bit to an extent, especially with everything that's going on.
It can be very scary because when you look at things on Facebook Marketplace and you look at the estate agent sites and the prices that they're asking for studios or one beds and things like that, which is what I would need, is at least a one bed. I think a studio, even for one person, is probably a bit too small. But if I had to go from the place I'm in, I'd really struggle.
Yeah.
Because not only finding a place, it's then finding somewhere that has reasonable rents, which a lot of them, I'm not going to call them unreasonable, but they're really out of my price range in terms of how much money I earn a month compared to how much rent I'm going to pay. And then there's things like 2 months deposit, and there's this, and there's this.
Fees,
I know, and okay, some of these things are not really allowed, particularly finder's fees and agency fees and things like that if people are going through a private landlord. But if you think about it, so €1,100 for a one bed in some places, let's use that as the benchmark, €1,100, and then 2 months deposit. Where am I going to get €3,300 to move into an apartment?
Yeah.
That's scary. That's why.
Yeah.
But so I think this goes a step towards making landlords feel like they don't have to do things like that. Because some of them as well are saying, I don't want a deposit, but I want 6 months rent up front. I mean, where are you going to get that sort of money from? So this, I think, is a step in the right direction for saying to landlords, for the government to say to landlords, look, we understand, we want to help, and we want you to get your property let, and we need housing.
Yeah.
We need people
Let's
to,
work
and we've got
together.
plenty
Let's
of.
make it happen.
There are plenty of people. The unfortunate thing is the 1%. Those occupants, those squatters, are the 1%. They are the minority who don't pay. But it ruins it for the 99% of us who work hard for our money, who want a place to live, who want to have a home and treat it like a home. We're the ones who suffer, really. And I get it from the landlords as well. I understand their side of it. I understand why they don't want to do it. I would rather have an empty property than have someone in it who's disrespectful or not paying. I get it.
Yeah.
So this, I think, we should treat this as very positive. Let's not criticise it too much.
No, so this time, right, like I said, last time they tried to do it, it didn't really work.
Yeah.
The people had to basically hand over control of their property for 7 years and accept rents well below market value. This time, owners are going to retain control of their properties. The rents will be capped at 30% below market rates. And in return, public administration will guarantee rental payments, ensure properties are returned properly, and where necessary, provide support for refurbishment to make homes suitable for letting. So, yeah.
Again, good news. I like it.
Brilliant. Love that. Okay. Shall we talk about some more,
let's.
news? There's been quite a lot of plane travel news today.
Yeah, that seemed to have been a bit.
Let's begin with something that actually was posted on the Canary Weekly and talked about earlier. Ryanair bringing in earlier check-in times due to security and passport control delays. Now, this is something we've mentioned. I think even when Tracy was on the pod, we were talking about the lounge and stuff. And I was like, but how long do you get? Because by the time you get through, do you even have time?
Yeah.
So, Ryanair's confirmed it's going to close check-in desks and baggage drop 60 minutes before flight departures rather than the current 40-minute cut-off. Yeah. This is due to start on the 10th of November. The aim is to get passengers at the airport earlier so they have more time to clear airport security and passport control and reduce the number of passengers missing flights after being delayed in queues, which in some cases has left them unable to board on time. I've got a few thoughts on this. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, again, we're talking about steps in the right direction because obviously Ryanair are aware that they left people behind in some of their flights. They're not the only ones. Incidentally, there have been a few incidents with British Airways in Milan and other airlines who are leaving people behind because they're still stuck. There will come a point where this EES system, the gates and all of the electronic stuff will work a lot better. So I think Ryanair is just mitigating in what they're doing for the short term immediately. It isn't opening check-in desks earlier, which is what people are crying out for.
That's
you've still got 2 hours.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
so
when I read it first, I thought, 2 hours, but 2 hours before, let's go 3 hours before. No. But it does mean that they're giving an extra 20 minutes for that process to happen so that they're less likely to leave people behind who are stuck. But is it enough? I don't know. But again, step in the right direction, trying to think about the positives on this.
Yeah, again, thinking about the positive. I've even had, and I'm sure it was with Ryanair, and I don't want to say for definite, but like it was maybe about 2 years ago, and I had an email before I was traveling saying get to the airport even earlier because of like there's really like the delays at the moment. So I was like, oh, okay, great. So we got there like 3 hours before. Oh, but you're not allowed to check in. Like,
no, yeah,
we just want you here with your kids with nothing to do
for an hour until the check-in desk opens.
Entertaining for an hour with a vending machine and a cafe that you can't afford.
Yeah.
Good luck. Bye.
It's now it's different for me again as no kids, no family. I very often, in fact, 99.999% of the time, I travel alone. I don't travel for long periods of time, sort of weeks or anything like that. So I have literally a backpack.
Yeah.
So life for me on the budget airlines and those airlines who are affected by leaving people behind and all those things, I don't have an issue because I can walk straight through. And there's no bag dropping and there's no checking in bags and things like that. I also make sure my bag fits in the sizer. There's been a lot of stories about that as well. There is a yellow and black line. If your wheel is over it, your bag's too big. So it's like, get with the rules. But that's going to cause a whole new argument.
Yeah, that's another pod.
Come at me in the comments if you want. I don't care. But for me, it's never really been an issue because I travel light anyway. So, but I understand people who are flying, because I've done airport repping as well as hotel repping and things like that. Traveling from one country to another through two airports, so if you're going from your home airport to the thing, is a scary and stressful time. I get it. And it doesn't help when you've got, you can't check in. Yeah, but I'm here. And I get it. And it's I don't know, there's a lot of moving parts in an airport and it's got to be done in a certain way. So I understand people's fear of missing flights and, being late and things. So I get it. Again, I've got to say, step in the right direction, though, to at least ensure that nobody gets left behind, or that, if you are, it's in the extreme.
I did an EasyJet flight last year, and again, it was 2 hours before, and I get that, right, okay, so fine, 2 hours, but I got there a bit before, thinking, right, queues. The queue wasn't that bad when I got in it, so I ended up being in the queue, getting to the front, and I was about like 20 minutes, 2 hours and 20 minutes before the flight, thinking, surely they wouldn't let me in. But by this time, the queue had got really long, so I was like, so now I have to go back to, and now I'm risking.
Oh my! Just
because what? But that again is just a different point, because I feel like you can't win. Like, you're trying to beat the system.
I know, and stressful. And actually, listen, in this day and age, where if you don't want to join the queue in Lidl, notice I'm saying Lidl now, Jen. You've educated me.
I am. I'm very proud of you.
There's no S in Lidl's. But
that should be on a T-shirt.
I should get a T-shirt from the middle aisle of Lidl, actually. If you don't want to join the queue, they've got self-service. And these self-service things are very useful, and you can do it quickly, and you can do it. There have been some of these self-check-ins.
Yeah.
I think the future of travel should have been a long time ago, because we've got the technology that you should be able to self-check-in. Yeah. And you should be able to scan your own bag, print your own label. That's the way things are going. I'm not saying to get rid of the jobs of the check-in staff, but to aid, and it doesn't need to take up much space, to aid in the process is everything's done by barcode and scanners and things. Once your bag goes through, that's all controlled. There's got to be a way you can do that yourself.
You can make it easier. Yeah. Well, I'm going to read out some of the comments on this, because I feel like some people made good points. John Money said the issue is at the passport control on departure. They don't announce the departure zone or gate until 40 minutes before, which causes stress in the queue. Too many flights scheduled to arrive depart at the same time. Insufficient persons at passport control.
So the passport control thing I get, and actually that's been addressed by IANA and the government and the National Police. There are more personnel. There are going to be more personnel, particularly for the summer. In terms of announcing gates 40 minutes before, right, a lot of moving parts in an airport, including takeoff and landing and gates available and taxiways. That's why that happens. Because you can't do that too far in advance, because you've got a lot of moving parts. You've got aircraft moving around aprons. You've got things. That's never going to change.
You're through to that bit. Is it going to make much
there's always another plane coming. So the plane that you're getting on has to be landing and emptying, and then so there's got to be a stand for that, and it can't be done too far in advance. So it's just, that is all about logistics.
John Blakely said, like, kind of what we've just said, but they're not opening the check-in desks any earlier. And Bob and Kath Ashcroft said, John Blakey, exactly. We got there over 3 hours earlier, was then put in a check-in queue for 2 hours and only just made it. We're in our 70s and running through the airport is difficult. It's a big airport. Like when you got to kind of pick a side. You don't always know which way you're going to go. And then to be told, okay, you were at the furthest way to get through. And if you have ability issues.
Exactly. My issue because I've never missed a plane, but I've come close. And I remember telling this story running through with my boarding pass like some sort of rom-com. Hold the plane, running through. But that's Madrid,
right? Which
is vast. Okay. It's a huge airport. And when you come in from an internal flight, for example, so I came in from the north to Madrid, that was A99, and I'm going on a British Airways to the UK, which is in C1.
Right.
Which is in a different building. So I have to traverse the entire airport. I have to go through passport control again because I'm going... And I was so lucky. So I understand completely Bob and Kath saying... Even in... Because our airport compared to Madrid is not a big airport, but it's big enough to cause problems. And like you said, if you're older or you've got mobility issues, I know they've got... Sin Barrias, and I know they've got assistants, but
I need to stop and get my kids to have a wee before they get on the plane because I know they're not going to be able to have one until take off. Like you can't tell a 4-year-old they got to hold it in, stuff like that. I'm intrigued to see what you say about this one. Kaz Thurgood says this is to their advantage, not the passengers. It gives them longer to remove luggage of passengers stuck in the security area.
Oh, I mean it's. Kaz, it's ever so slightly cynical, but I know what you mean. I get what she's saying because the stories of those people who were left behind, they were even further annoyed that they weren't allowed on the flight. They then watched as the plane did not take off because they spent an hour removing their luggage when actually they could have just opened the doors and let them off. So that I get.
I think, again, we've talked about this and it's actually like... You can see the frustration, but they have like these rules and they have they didn't know necessarily how long they were going to be. Once they've started that process, it is what it is. So,
But, again, as IANA have said and the National Police have said, there's going to be more bodies around to help, hopefully, and hopefully as well. Because also, once you've done your fingerprints and things, you can, the next time you go, you can join a different queue. So the problem is that sort of information hasn't been given out too freely.
So my mum and dad arrived last weekend, and they've been here a few times, and they've done it all. So they were in the queue, thinking they just had to queue, and then overheard someone saying, oh, like, you don't have to if you've done it before. And they were like, oh, hang on, we've done it before. So then they got told they'd go through a different clue. But there's no information saying, if you've done this, come here. Like, people are kind of just guessing.
So if you have already done your fingerprints and your photographs in an EU country, when you come to Tenerife for your holidays, within 3 years, because that information, so you won't have to redo it again for 3 years, you can join the other queue. So you heard it here. Join the other queue if you've already done it, and then you can go through you don't have to do that all over again.
It's one of them, isn't it, again? Because I think sometimes you go places and people forget that you don't work there, so they talk to you like, just join that queue, and you're like, but what queue? I've never been here before. I don't know where I am. I always find that in hospitals, and you're like, right, where do I go? Where is this office? And they're like, talk to you sometimes like you're stupid, and like, I don't work
but
here.
I
don't know the building layout. This is quite a big place. Also, I'm not a nurse.
Yeah, exactly. But you listen for that photos and fingerprints and things like that. Also, it's a new system. I know it was supposed to be gradually integrated until this month, and this month it was supposed to be like go live, and we're doing it now. There are still teething troubles. There are still problems, but it will get better with anything that you have ever had. That's a new system or something new happening. Come on, when we changed money over, so when we went from pesetas to euros, there was problems. When we had the millennium, apparently the whole computer system was going to crash, and it did. Things take time to get settled, and I appreciate the frustration now because it is frustrating and it is a scary thing. But as time goes on, by the end of this year, it'll be like it's never been any different.
Changes are being put in place to make a difference for the better.
For the future,
if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Exactly.
So, let's go through the teething.
And do you know what? It will be the same with liquid scanners. So lots of places in the UK and in Europe have already put, so you won't have to do your 100 mils anymore because it will be able to scan everything. That's going to cause problems as well because it's a brand new system that's being integrated. There will be teething troubles and things. So you've got to allay yourself to the fact that actually this is about future proofing travel in terms of making everything digital and making everything as it should be. But there are mistakes and there are things that happen, and it's frustrating, I know, but things get better with time.
Like, just let's get through it. In other flight news...
Okay.
No, I'm not going there yet.
Right.
I'm not going there yet. Okay. Just one I wanted to touch on. Fewer flights planned for the Canary Islands this summer. So airlines are planning fewer seats to the Canary Islands for summer 2026. A reported drop of 2.5% compared to last year, according to Airlines Association.
Okay. Let's unwrap this a little bit. So 2.5% based on last year.
Yeah.
Last year's numbers were up 3.5%.
Yeah.
So actually, net, we're still up 1.5%.
So basically,
if my math ain't mathing, tell me.
I don't know about the 3.5%, but you are right. The reduction follows a really strong increase from last summer. So the kind of industry figures are saying this is just kind of a natural adjustment.
Absolutely.
There's no real other reason to this.
And as usual with reporters, they call it a drop. It isn't. It's a settling.
Yeah.
Because when you go from, our post-COVID numbers from, let's say, 2019, I've just been doing that. It's been an upwards and upwards and upwards. And we've had, in terms of visitor numbers and flight numbers, more flights than we've ever had in the history of the Canary Islands. There's been more people coming. There's been more flights coming. So this is a natural settling. Because we've had loads and loads of interest.
Going anyway.
Yeah, you've got there's been loads of interest, and then all of a sudden, the numbers are kind of settling down. The dust is settling, if you will.
Yeah.
So people are deciding, yes, okay, and then so the industry, the airlines are noticing, we haven't sold that many seats. No, not if you compare it. But if you compare those numbers with 2019, you're still up, and there's still more people visiting. So it is a settling, and I don't think it's a negative thing.
And actually, Spain as a whole is still up. So, for example, like Andalusia is seeing a 9.8% rise. Balearic Islands are up 2.6%. So, and
that's people discovering, Spain and actually getting the access. We talk about EasyJet and Ryanair, and shout out both, for getting access because they have put more flights on. So all they're doing now is working out, okay, we put 10 new flights onto the Balearics and actually we filled 8 of them. So actually if we remove those 2 less popular times but there's still 8 full planes, for example. Let's use that as a benchmark. So it's not necessarily a reduction, it's a settling of the...
So tourism is not in jeopardy?
No, not at all.
Steve.
Not at all. And not even because of things happening in the Middle East, which has been a concern. A few people have asked me, actually, because there's this concern about some sort of, not lockdown, but some sort of cessation of travel because of what's going on in the Middle East. Okay. And listen, we have seen it in countries like Cyprus and things. And those sorts of countries that are closer to the area of conflict, people are concerned about going on holiday to, that you won't get Dubai, for example. People love going on holiday to. It's not happening now because of what's happening and the close proximity it's got. So people are concerned that might happen here, even though we are miles and miles and miles and miles away from that sort of conflict. So there's that worry that flying is somehow going to be affected. But there is also this worry that there's not going to be enough fuel. Okay. That's one of the big concerns is, are we going to start seeing cancellations of holidays and cancellations of flights because of fuel? So the Vice President and the Tourism Councillor of the Cabildo of Tenerife, a guy called Lope Afonso, believes the summer tourism campaign on the island is not in jeopardy due to this fuel shortage for airlines caused by the conflict. He stated at a press conference that although the situation is volatile, so there's lots of stuff happening up in the air, it's relatively calm as most European countries that send tourists have jet fuel reserves. Now, again, this comes from experience of working in the airport and things like that. We're talking 8 to 10 weeks ahead of time. So it's not, they're not going down the petrol station every day. There's fuel reserves. Companies, airlines have reserves. Airports have reserves. There is fuel there for at least 8 to 10 weeks, if not longer. He also said Spain's reserves are among the strongest. So Spain itself has strong reserves of fuel. And he rationalised it by saying that the short-term tourism outlook, the summer campaign, does not appear to be affected by this issue, as airlines expect to maintain or in some cases increase their seat capacity in relative terms. He is not worried because of how strong the Spanish fuel
He
extras
seems
is,
to know
you know?
his stuff. I'm not worried after hearing that. He's kind of settled my mind.
And there is, but that's what he wants, and that's the reason for the press conference as well. So if you're listening to this pod because you're finding out about Tenerife and but you are concerned about that, listen. If you are coming in the next 2-3 months, there shouldn't be an issue, and hopefully, if the people higher up do what they're supposed to do, get the Strait of Hormuz open, get the fuels coming back, get all of that stuff coming back, then there won't be. But there is a buffer zone. So don't think that next week you're going to get an email from TUI or from Jet2 or any of those, your holidays now cancelled, the summer's off. It's not like that, because there are the planes will stay in the sky, planes will be fueled, and it'll be okay for now.
You heard it here first. Or maybe you didn't, but you've heard it here.
Yeah, there you go. Just trying to allay the concerns.
I don't know if we should even mention this next one, to be honest with you.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Yeah.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Oh, wow.
We should have played the tune. Ding, 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 ding. No, tell us. I want to hear it.
Right. So, there's been a couple.
Okay.
They've been banned for life from Jet2
Shout out Jet2.
as they got caught trying to become part of the Mile High Club. Now, obviously, there's been a bit of debate, which I feel like people are missing the point, that they hadn't taken off yet, so how could it be the Mile High Club?
No, I'm with them. Because
joining Steve, for God's sake. And I thought you holidayed solo. I didn't realise it was those kind of holidays.
It's a swingers holiday. No, I mean the commenters saying you can't join the Mile High Club on the ground. That's what that is. And I agree.
I get the impression they were trying to join the Mile High Club as they left the ground, and like, what an experience, I guess, if that's what you're into.
I read the story, and the way it's written is just superb. There was something to do with the movement of his tracksuit trousers. They'd written it in the story because there was something happening. Something was happening in his tracksuit trousers.
I think, yes, someone obviously realised what they were trying to do, alerted the cabin crew who went and had a word.
Yes.
My favourite thing about this story is that they said they'd never been on a plane before, so they were praying. I can't work out what position...
Trying to work out what religion that is, because I've not heard of...
Some kind of Kama Sutra prayer. I'm
just not aware of any religions involving tracksuit trousers and what they were trying.
Yeah, I just do you know what shocked me as well? On the Canary Weekly post about this, quite a few people were like, "Yeah, this has happened to me. Like, I've seen people do this. And
no way.
It's disgusting. Like people sat on the same aisle." Like next to them, frisky under a blanket or something.
I've never seen it. And actually, doesn't it go back to, was it Chris telling the story of porno on the plane?
Oh yeah.
So it's like, it's outraging public decency to a degree. Also, I mean, if you can't keep your hands to yourself for the duration of the flight, like literally get a room. You've got one clearly, because weren't they also kicked out of the hotel?
I believe so, yes. So this was kind of going to be my point. I love as well the fact that they've said it was a really awkward, not them, I don't know if they've commented, but the cabin crew and stuff have said it was a really awkward flight, because obviously they only had 4 hours of just being like probably trying to avoid eye contact. But yeah, they've been banned for life and apparently had to find alternative accommodation. I want to know your thoughts on this, because I feel like this is maybe a bit harsh.
Do you think it's an overreaction then?
I get that there's rules in place, and that is a very inappropriate behaviour in a public space. Should they have lost their accommodation and be banned for life? Maybe a fine or something. I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts?
I think this clearly is a Jet2 package holiday.
Yeah.
So your flights, your transfers, and your hotels are all included. If you are going against Jet2's passenger rules, like how to conduct oneself on an aircraft.
I wonder if that's written into the terms.
There is, yeah. No, there isn't. If you okay, this is a big issue as well. People don't read the T's and C's.
No,
they
but
never
do you though?
I have. Well, no, because I'm already aware of them having had to read. Having had to read the passenger charter and the passenger agreement as a TUI rep. Okay. Because I have done a similar thing in terms of evicting people from hotels. Oh, okay. So if their behaviour was not conducive with normal behaviour, wrecking rooms, that kind of thing. Hey, I worked in Mallorca. I've been there. You know, I've seen people smash TVs up and break beds.
The dirty
and things
protests
like that.
and things.
Yeah. Ugh. And so I have had to evict from hotels. And the automatic thing certainly with the company I work for, with TUI, was if you're evicted from your hotel, we cancel your return flight. You have to sort yourself out because you have broken the rules. So for Jet2 to say you're banned for life from the airline, that is serious enough to say we're not carrying you for your entire holiday.
Fine.
I think that's fair.
So you think it's fair? You agree with it?
Yeah, I agree with it, yeah. If you're going against that passenger charge, if your behaviour is going against that agreement that you've made, whether you read it or not, ignorance of the law is not a defence of the law. If you haven't, you've agreed to that by clicking the button, paying your money, because once you click, you have to click that I've read and understood the terms and conditions.
I know.
So if you then go against what your agreement with the airline is, you're essentially in breach of contract, and they're within their rights to do it. Call me harsh, but I think they're within their rights.
I do get that, and I agree. Ignorance is not an excuse, and I hold my hands up sometimes. I'm like, click terms and conditions, like crack on.
Yeah, I've read it.
I just feel like this is really, really harsh. Like, I get what they did was wrong. I'm not supporting what they did at all. Like, I don't
not
think
condoning
like
their
everybody
actions.
should be like banging on the way up. Like, I don't think that having a bit of I don't think that. I just think. Because, like, we've talked about this. I've been working in TUI hotels and family hotels as well, where I've had to go and say to, like, couples in the pool.
Yes.
I remember what doing that as well. Can you go to your room to do that?
Yeah.
Like,
get a room. You've got one. Use it.
And they've not been kicked out of the hotel though. I just think it's a bit harsh. Like, I just think a ban for life and I don't know.
I have to say that behaviour on aircraft is a big thing as well. And lots of people talk because it happens more often than you think. Reportedly about people consuming too much alcohol and getting into it with flight attendants and being sexist and being obnoxious and being, and I firmly believe that it is something that the airlines need to take control of. And I think banning people for life from their airline for behaviour like
that's true,
should be taken as action.
I see your point.
It's, because it's all you're doing is saying it's okay. Oh, a little slap on the wrist. No, if you want to be able to go on holiday and things like that, you have to behave a certain way within a normal, and the talk that you get for, well, just ban alcohol on flights and in airports. No, why?
Yeah.
Again, the 1%, the minority, how many millions of people travelling every year on aircrafts to all countries in the world? And then how many reports of problems? We only hear of the problems because the 20,000 a day flights for the rest of the world go without incident. But when there is an incident, we hear about it. So banning alcohol is a stupid idea because I like to have a glass of wine or two.
Yeah, like why should you be discriminated?
Exactly, because I can behave myself on an aircraft for 4 hours, but if you can't, you should be banned for life, as far as I'm concerned.
I see your point. I'd be intrigued to see what the listeners and viewers of this pod think. Like, was the Jet2 ban too harsh? What do you think? You on Steve's side?
And also behaviour on aircraft should be stronger. Stronger fines, stronger bans. Should they all be lumped under one umbrella? And I think maybe they should, like, because I think like the aggressive behaviour, I would be like, yeah, they should be kicked off the flight. They shouldn't have the hotel. They should be able to have to find their way home. But is that like aggressive behaviour same as like having a bit of a interesting
cheeky...
one? But again, it isn't.
Where's the line?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if it's a behavioural thing, then let's get banning people, because at the end of the day, other people will think we can't do that because we're going to get banned for life when we won't be able to fly Jet2 ever.
You won't save 50 quid, that's £200. Anyway, I'm going to come on to you, Steve. It's time for you to talk about something you love lying about. It's the weather. I'm only joking.
Do you remember the title of the last pod was The Liar, the Super Sub and Jenny Learning Stuff? So we put that as the title. So
teach me then. Educate me.
So here's 2 minutes of lies about what's going on in the skies. See, I'm a poet as well. I know.
Look at you.
The talents. I've got creative because I've been hanging around with you too long. So, in terms of the weather, we've got a bit of a mixed bag, and it's going to be a mixed bag for probably the foreseeable, at least the week. So some of areas that we've got, for example, Fanny Bay through to Los Gigantes, the coastlines, looking really nice. The sun's out, not much in the way of clouds. If you go up to the villages, though, and you're going further inland, more cloud and light showers. But also, if you notice, coming this way towards Las Chafiras and San Isidro, it's quite overcast, which is keeping the temperatures down a little bit, and they're cooler than mid-20s, probably still looking at about 23, 24. However, there hasn't really been that much in the way of rain, and there probably won't be, but there will be the odd spit spot of light showers, particularly the further inland you go, the further higher up villages are likely to see a little bit more rain. Coastlines, though, resorts, the 3 square miles we talk about from Los Cristianos through to Fania Bay, probably going to stay nice. When the sun's out, the temperatures will go up 25, 26. That's what we're looking at right now. That'll be into next week. So sunshine, clouds, no meaningful rain. More likely if you're in the middle of the island, more likely. In the north, there will be showers. They'll be light as well. No heavy rains expected. No weather warnings as yet that we know of for the coming days. And we're in for a relatively stable weekend. Again, the resorts will see some nice weather. There'll be a few clouds around, but nothing serious. And there's no storms on the horizon at the moment as yet. Yes. So it's fairly nice for the time of year. Decent-ish weather. Those clouds are going to continue to roll in, but other than that, it's nice.
So that's quite nice news, isn't it? Like
we
got through the Kalima. Yes. No potential weather warnings at the moment.
I still need to wash the Kalima off my car.
I need to wash it. Do you know? Basically, anytime you say don't wash your car, I don't.
No, me either.
And then I still don't. And then the next weather warning comes and you go don't wash your car, and I'm like I still do.
I still haven't from the one before last.
I'm about 6. About 6 in.
Kalimas in. Yeah.
When Chris gets back and sees that company car, he's going to be furious.
The one that's supposed to be silver but now looks brown because it's just sand. It's layer on layer of sand. Yeah.
Maybe instead of telling us don't wash our car, you could give us like the heads up. Are we okay to wash our car now?
Well, okay. The clearest day this week to wash your car, Sunday.
Oh, I'm busy on a Sunday. Okay. Unfortunately, that can't be done. Right. Okay. Can we talk about some things going off in the next few days?
Yes. I'm going to wash my car on Sunday.
The big event of the week. Steve washes his car.
I love that the stinger came in straight after that.
My stinger finger was ready and raring to go. So I have to mention the Opera de Tenerife
now
presents Bluebeard's Castle.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to pronounce that
in
Spanish. El Castillo de Barbazul. It should be a thul, shouldn't it?
I tell you what, your Spanish is getting so good.
I know. I blow my own mind. So many talents at my fingertips. It's by Bella Bartok at the Auditorio de Tenerife in Santa Cruz. So, do you like opera? Are you into it? Do you know of this?
I don't. I'd say I don't know the opera, the Castle of. Is it Bluebeard?
Yeah,
Bluebeard's Castle.
Bluebeard's Castle.
But I have been to the opera in the past, and it is one of those things that you think you're going to hate. And you think, because your only interpretation is like you see Pavarotti on the telly or whatever it is, and it's all weirdly.
Can you just do that again for me?
Oh, that's going on the meme, isn't it? That's why you're doing that, because it's going to get on a clip.
Clip it up.
I walk into these clips all the time. But
you're like Gemma Collins. You're a walking meme.
Walking meme. I'm the GC of the Tenerife Pod. Yeah. But you think that you're not going to enjoy it, and you think you won't be able to follow what's going on. Not true. Okay. So even if they're singing, because a lot of the big operas are either in Italian or German, things like that. So you think you're not going to understand a word. Actually, you don't have to a lot of the time, because the emotion is there, what's happening on the stage is there, and the story is being told. And you do find yourself just getting mesmerised.
I've heard this, like people like literally that are like, I'm going to use stereotypes. I don't mean to offend anyone, like builders and stuff. They go through and they're breaking down, like they're crying and emotional and stuff.
Do you know what? And I think it's because the music is emotive and the power of, especially if you get a really good soprano, a really good opera singer, female opera singer, who can hit those notes and sustain those. And it just comes over you like a wave. It's amazing. Hard to describe for non-opera lovers. It's really hard to describe. But it is one of those things that is an experience. If you haven't been, just go once.
Yeah,
because it's an experience to do. Yeah,
I'm quite intrigued by the storyline. It's a bold contemporary production. It keeps the original score, but reimagines the story as a powerful exploration of identity, desire, and inner conflict. In this version, Bluebeard is a woman trapped in a man's body, hiding her true self, while Judith's love is driven by both curiosity and control.
Oh, wow. You've just sold that to me as well. that bit of story. That's
It's so I've not even said when it is.
Yes.
I'll tell you when you can go, Steve. Okay. It's Saturday, 25th of April at the Auditorio de Tenerife in Santa Cruz. So if you're looking for something a bit more sophisticated, should I say?
Yeah, and listen, it's a nice reason to wear something nice as well, because when you go to the opera you don't turn up in shorts and t-shirts, so put something nice, put a nice shirt on, wear a nice dress, whatever it is.
Girls, sparkles. Get some glitter on. Another thing, I've never heard of anything like this, but I bet there probably has been. If you've ever been curious about an aviation career, Brock Air Aviation Academy, which is part of the Boost Air Group, they're hosting an aviation training day, again this Saturday, 25th of April, at their facilities in Granadilla de Abona. It's an open day, runs from 9:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's just giving you a chance to explore training, career opportunities within the aviation industry. It's going to be workshops, talks, demonstrations, all led by professionals, covering everything from aircraft maintenance, emergency procedures, jet engines, cabin crew operations, that kind of thing.
Oh, so if you've got an interest, perhaps you want to go into air crew or flight, because there's two crews: air crew, which are the people who deal with the aircraft itself, and then flight crew, they're the people who deal with the customers and the passengers. So that is really interesting if you have an interest in becoming one of those brilliant people who look after us on aircraft. Going back to stories of people's behaviour, they are not just there to serve drinks. That has to be said. They're also there because when you talk about safety procedures, I have watched an exercise in Brussels at the maintenance bays in the TUI training of how to evacuate a plane. It's amazing.
Wow.
Because you've got to do it in 90 seconds.
Wow.
So you've got to get 289 people, that's your average Boeing 787 MAX, whatever it is. You've got 90 seconds to get everybody off.
That's impressive, isn't
Which
it?
is why they do, and that's what the flight crew are trained for. They're not
That's
they're
what I
not
think
trained to
people
just
forget
pour
when they
drinks.
fly.
Yeah.
Their main reason for being on that aircraft is your safety. Yeah. So stop having a go at them because they ran out of paninis.
But I admire that as well. So even if you have a fleeting interest in a career within aircraft or within airlines, that's a really good open day.
Has mentioned a few times. He's 8, so I'm expecting this to change a lot. But he would quite like to thought of being a pilot, for example.
Yeah, why not?
So knowing that there's this kind of thing on the island, I think it's really good. So if you are interested, that's at Brock Air Academy this Saturday in Calle Riscosa in Granadilla de Abona.
Brilliant.
Another one, Jazz Week.
Oh, so listen, we've had opera, which is sophisticated, but now we've got jazz, which is just great.
Are you
cool. I am. Love a bit of jazz. I'm a massive jazz fan. My dad's fault. I was 11. We were in Miami for a holiday, and there was a fairly well-known jazzer called Harry Connick Jr., who is very. And we went to see him in concert in
Even
Miami,
I've heard of him,
and he was out of this world good. Piano, full brass section, filled the stage with. I'm all for it. I love jazz.
So, let me tell you about it.
Tell me.
The Canary Islands Jazz Week, hitting the road, bringing some of the most sophisticated and soulful jazz across the islands. From April the 30th to the 10th of May, the Atlantic Jazz Lab Orchestra. Now, this is for all the islands, those dates. La Gomera, Gran Canaria, Tenerife, El Hierro, Lanzarote, in Fuerteventura.
Muy bien.
They'll be joined by trumpeter. I feel like I go proper Leicester if I say trumpet. There is a little bit of the Midlands in there. Nathaniel Ramos and Edison Jazz Award 2025 winner Esther Van Hees performing their brand new album Too Darn Hot.
Cool.
There's going to be live concerts. The tour's going to include school performance masterclasses and helping inspire the next generations of musicians across the islands. Weirdly, again, my son, he got like a keyboard for his birthday, which does all kinds of stuff. We're still learning kind of what it does. But the first time he just sat and played on it, and he was just going for it. And I was like, do you know what? This could be jazz. And my dad actually said, you can't hit a bum note in jazz.
No, you can't.
Keep going,
exactly. It's when you listen to that we call it trad jazz. That trad jazz. It's just got, the drummer will just be doing a beat, tap, 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 and then you'll just hear a trumpeter, for example, might just go, and you can't hit a bum note. You just do whatever you want. It's a free reign kind of go for it. And
I told him
brilliant.
He'll probably come to Australia on Saturday and tell you all about it.
I'm sure he
tell
will.
Steve, your singing teacher, about it. So if you want to get tickets to that, you can go to atlanticjazzlab.org /entradas, and you will.
I'm going to look at that because you said it started on the 30th. That's great. Birthday. And my birthday's the 29th, so I might treat myself to a little birthday jazz.
Wait, your birthday's like less than a week away?
Yeah, 29th. Yeah, 29th.
How old are you going to be?
40-something. I've lost count, to be honest, Jen. I know I'm not 50.
You've kept that really quiet.
Do you know what? I usually do. I'm not a big celebrator of... The last birthday party I had was for my 40th. Because it had a 0 in it, so we only do big numbers.
So what, are you not going to do anything? We might take yourself to the jazz.
So I'll take myself to the jazz. Oh, and also shout out Venture Restaurants because I downloaded the Venture app years ago when I used to go to Legato quite a lot and Char. When I lived in La Caleta, Char used to be in one of the units in La Caleta before it moved up to the Bearbab Suites. Yeah. So I used to go in Char quite a lot because it was literally a local restaurant to me. The steaks were amazing. So I joined the app. And of course, you put all your information. Every year, without fail, I get a €20 voucher for my birthday from Venture.
Oh, so you're going to do that?
I'm going to go to a Venture restaurant for dinner. Yeah, they basically said, you've got 15 days before your birthday and 15 days after to use. I've got a whole month to use up, so I'm going to treat myself. I don't know where I want to go, though. I think Meat Boutique. I think I might have a big steak. And But yeah, it's a really nice thing to do. If you download the app, you'll get a voucher for your birthday every year from Venture.
I think I get one, you know. I don't know. Like I lost the app and then I lost all my points because they brought in that rule where you had to use them up. Because I'd got quite a lot saved.
I did the same, and then I didn't use it for a while because I wasn't going out and I just moved and all the rest of it. But I still get the email comes through every year saying happy birthday. It's only in a week. Here's your voucher. So yeah, it's really nice. So I'm going to do that.
You enjoy your garlic bread for €20. I mean, just
I must just say as well. I know I mentioned it on the last pod, but it is this weekend as well. The Volcano Tour. The guys on the bikes and the motorbikes, they go out and they do the treasure
hunt.
The volcano hunt, that's it. Because Rick said it's over there. So they found it. But they're going out on their treasure hunt. And in the meantime, there'll be some live entertainment from Estrellas from 2 p.m. And that's at the Duke Shops. So from 2 onwards, we'll be showcasing the youngsters and what they're doing. There'll be some of the kids there that were there from the Got Talent at the weekend, so they'll be repeating some of those performances. All kinds of things from contemporary dance, and we've got some ballet. There's also musical theatre, of course. We've got the cheerleaders and acrobats and all that. So it's going to be great.
What day is that? A Saturday?
Sunday.
Because I've got one more last event to mention. Sometimes we're like, there's nothing going on this week. This week, the Saturday, it's like loads going off. I want to mention this because a friend of mine is going to be featured in it. It's called Hogar Home, and it's an art exhibition.
Oh, cool.
And she has some poetry that's going to be featured in it. So that's Natalie Stafford.
Yeah.
And this exhibition is in Villaflor, El Puente, Villaflor. 25th of April, 1 till 7, and then on Sunday as well, 12 till 5. And the little caption, what is home besides a physical space? What part of home do we carry with us? That's kind of what the art exhibition is about. Okay. So, she got some poetry.
I tell you what, that is the most cultured events look at that we've done of. So jazz, opera, poetry. We've never been so cultured.
I know.
We should be reading the Times or something, shouldn't we?
Should we organise a pub crawl next week or something?
we'll need to lower the tone because we've been too cultured this week.
Come for us. Yeah, look at us experiencing all the culture.
All of the culture. Yeah.
Look at us. Okay, right. Let's move on to our final and favourite thing that we like to do. What's your favourite? So I was having to think about what we could do this week. Obviously, we had date night last week. We talked a lot about work.
Can I just say about that, about date night? So obviously this podcast gets chopped up into reels to sort of
we never know what's going to be.
No, we don't. And that's why when I started singing and playing the pretend trumpet earlier, that's getting, I'm sure of it. If it doesn't happen, I'll be quite happy. But the opera bit, I can feel it. It's coming through. But this, so when I was doing the me date, because that's what I said, I've been single for a long time. Shout out John Parks, who made a comment in the comments going, he said, I'll take you out on a date. So it's like we mandate, of course.
Of course.
But
Maybe
yeah,
you
so
could take him up for it on your birthday.
we
John?
I've got a voucher. We can go and eat steak. But thanks for the comments about I'm not lonely, but thanks. I appreciate your support.
Oh yeah, I think your biggest point of the me date was like, I like being on my own.
I know, yeah,
and then
exactly.
Tracy was like, I'll go out with you. Now
And
you've
that-
got John. People just want a bit of Steve. You're
And
like, leave me alone.
Do you know what? And more on that as well. I messaged Tracy afterwards because I'd seen an event. It's not till July, so we won't mention it until later on. Well, I will mention it. So Star Wars Episode 1, A New Hope, which is just simply one of the greatest science fiction movies ever.
I'll take your word for it.
With
okay?
an absolutely first-rate, beautiful classical music score by John Williams, with all of the the theme tune and all the rest of it. Oh, this is going on really well, isn't it? I'm just going to be Steve sings all day.
Sing along. Can we use that as a headline? Write that down. Sing along with Steve, the pod.
Actually, I am going to write that down because we'll want a title for it, won't we? But they're showing the film with the score being performed by the symphony orchestra in Santa Cruz. So you won't be hearing the score on the soundtrack. They'll be playing it live along with the thing.
I can imagine if you're into that, that's quite an experience.
Yes,
personally.
When I mentioned, and Tracy was like, "Oh, got Easty. We've now got tickets." Me and Tracy,
Have you?
We're going. Tickets are booked. We are there.
Amazing.
We're going together, so it's great. Yeah, it's
Fantastic news. I'm very, very happy for you. So yeah, well, we talked about the dates and we talked about Workers' Wednesdays and drinking, and I thought I don't want people to just think we're just these like uncouth people going around down in pints of juicy.
I was going to say the €1 juicy, which has got the vodka that you could power an aircraft with.
Do you remember another drink and it was called like red shit or
yes.
something?
Do you know what? That got me thinking about that. And I can't remember if any of the workers or not, from the 90s, noughties sort of time when that was the thing. Let us know what's in it because I can't remember it. That might have been because I drank so much of it that I've got lost brain cells. I don't know. But if you know what's in it, let us know.
There's an old kids rep that I doubt will be listening, but I might tag them in this. Her name is Nikki Latham. She will know. She will know exactly what's in it. She's probably drinking one, like as I tag her. I reckon. Anyway, Nikki Latham, tell us what's in the red shit. But anyway, instead of talking about dirty drinks, because I am actually like a bit old now, a bit more mature, a bit more. This word is like the hot word of the day. Sophisticated.
Oh yes.
I like a nice cocktail.
Listen, we've already had conversation about opera today, so we are sophisticated.
I know, check us out. So, what's your favourite? Where do you go for your favourite cocktail in Tenerife?
Now.
You can't say the Winchester.
No, of course not. You did that, not me. So, there you go. Shout out. It's an interesting one because, again, being someone who doesn't go out a lot, the place that used to be my go-to, again, when I lived in La Caleta, was Legato Brasserie.
It's not there anymore.
No,
right?
it's a different thing. But when it was there, they had a really cute little bar area at the front before you go to your table. And one of my favourite drinks from there used to be an Al Capone's whiskey sour. And what was cool about it is you'd get the glass would come out in front of you, and then there would be a book, like a hardback book. And you would go, what on earth? Where's my drink? Open the book. It's a false book with a metal hip flask. So it's like a themed cocktail. So the Al Capone's whiskey, and you'd pour it from the metal hip flask. Because obviously it was the days of Prohibition where you would secretly drink in speakeasies and stuff.
Yeah.
So they themed this whole drink.
That's amazing.
And it was really, this whiskey sour is really nice. However, it's not my go-to drink.
What's your go-to
So my
drink?
go-to is a good mojito. I am absolutely in love with mojitos. I love them.
I'm not into a mojito. I don't want my drink to taste like mint. I don't want to think like I'm drinking mouthwash. I don't like the thought of a mojito. And like chewing on a leaf, like it's effort. I just want to drink the drink. So I don't want to have the hard work.
So if you're getting them right. If they're done right,
yeah, I'm probably going to the cheaper.
So they call it muddling. So it's basically mint leaves are bashed to bring the oils out so that it's flavourful and things like that. And then brown sugar and then sugar syrup goes in there as well, along with all the other ingredients. And if it's done right, it's a really great drink. You shouldn't be sucking up. It feels like sand, brown sugar and things like that. It should still be a nice drink. And so that's my go-to. However, I was slightly converted when I went on my cruise.
Yeah.
Because I went to the cocktail bar, which was the Sunset Cocktail Bar, back of the ship, very nice. And on their menu was a ginger mojito. So instead of having the usual soda water or whatever it was in there, it was ginger ale. It had some fresh ginger mixed in with on a cocktail, and it was just the best thing I've ever drank. So my new go-to drink, if you're stocking this now in your bars, let us know, a ginger mojito.
Yeah, have you ever seen it here anywhere?
No, not yet. But it's got to be a thing because it's essentially the mojito, but you just literally swap out plain soda for ginger ale and you put some ginger in there instead of the mint and things like that. But I mean, it's my new thing. I love it.
So really, though, you've not answered the question because your favourite cocktail is in a place that has now gone, and your other one is in a cruise that's in the middle of the sea.
So mojito, to answer the question of what's my go-to cocktail.
And where would you get a nice mojito from here?
The other place where I have had a really nice one is Luma in Fania Bay.
Lovely.
They also do a wicked Long Island iced tea. And when I say wicked, when my dad and mum came over, they're in their 70s, I got my dad drunk on Long Island iced tea. I think we only had 3.
It's so easy to do.
It's basically booze, splash of Coke.
Yeah. Lovely.
But Luma isn't the place to go for that.
I think I've had a nice, it was some kind of Oreo ice creamy cocktail in Luma, actually.
Yes, my nephews order it all the time.
The sin alcohol one,
yes,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course.
I had the alcoholic version.
Nice.
So my favourite place to go for a cocktail, and I think, because you've mentioned John Parks, does he not own the Vault?
Yes.
Is that not him?
Yes, that's him.
So I like the Vault. Because I think they do...
Is it the whole tree that you're going for?
Actually, no.
Because they do those cocktail trees, don't they?
They do the cocktail trees. I've never had one. But I think they do nice, fresh cocktails, all like homemade. I'd not been for a little while, but like I like a porn star martini, and they put the proper fruit on top and stuff. But also... they do themed cocktails. So just recently they had the Cadbury's cream egg cocktail, and it is delicious. I'm sure they've stopped it now because it's not Easter anymore. But at Christmas, I remember speaking to JD, and she was putting together a cocktail, and she was sourcing edible glitter and stuff to put in. Like, they really think about their cocktail. So it's not just go for a cocktail; it's go for an experience. Yeah. So I think that would be my favourite place to go for a cocktail. The other place, and again, this was years ago, but I would have said the strawberry shortcake at Kelowna. You can see the theme. I quite like I want my cocktails to be like a dessert.
You do like a dessert cocktail by the sounds of all of that.
I do. Although my favourite cocktail is a porn star martini.
Okay.
Since you're a bit of a chef and connoisseur,
okay.
I have a question for you. So a porn star martini comes with like a shot glass of Prosecco or champagne or whatever, Cava. What's the order? Like, what are you meant to do with it? Are you meant to shot the champagne and then drink it? Or are you meant to like sip? What you meant to do?
That is a shot for a reason. Because otherwise, if it was a sipping, we'd give you a glass of Cava and a glass of porn star. So it's the order that I think.
Are you meant to chuck the shot in, or like you meant to shot?
Yeah, and then shot it and then drink the drink.
Why?
I don't know.
If
anybody knows, we'd love to know.
I don't. Yeah, porn star, and that's how you.
I don't know what we're going to get in the comments here about. We said porn star, not if you've got OnlyFans. We don't care about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I may have heard it's a bit of like a palate cleanser.
Yes.
Yes. But anyway, that's all I've got to talk about today.
And me. I think the two of us have done really well.
I know. I think we was a bit worried we're not going to have enough to chat about, but I think we need to shut up and go.
Yes, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
We'll catch you on the next pod, sponsored by BGR Solutions.
See you later.
Thanks.